Victoria is with us in Pennsylvania. Hi, Victoria. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, you see, so we just discovered you, me and my boyfriend, probably this week, and we're looking to make my emergency fund. And I have a trust fund that probably has, I'm going to say, probably about $30,000 in it. But the only issue is my mom is I'm going to say, like the holder of the account right now. She's not really given me access to it since I became over the age of 21. Now I'm 22. She's making it pretty difficult to access that money. So we were looking just to get it out so we can start the emergency fund.
What are the terms of the trust?
So it was originally made for schooling, but I've already had my degree, and they made me she actually had me pay out of pocket for that whole degree because she didn't want to touch the money. So it was probably about $5,000 that I spent on schooling, but she won't let me touch any of it.
Do you have a copy of the trust?
I have the information, and I've actually been in contact with the trust, and they were just like, hey, she just has to sign this paper, and then it goes into your name. And she will not do it because she thinks I'm going to be a quote-unquote stupid kid and blow all the money.
Okay, but the terms of the trust say that it's to revert to you, controls to revert to you at 21?
Yeah, but because I was underage when it was made, she just won't sign it over.
No. Stop. You're not underage now.
Right.
The terms of the trust say that the money is to be turned over to you after age 21, correct?
Yep, and she just has to sign
She doesn't have to sign anything. She doesn't have to sign anything.
Okay.
Get back in touch with the trust company and tell them you're going to contact a lawyer and sue their butts if they don't turn your money over to you.
Okay.
She's no longer a trustee of a trust that is now defunct because you turned 21.
Okay.
I'm not a lawyer, but that's if you have a lawyer look at this situation, that's what they're going to tell you.
Yeah, that's going to be the next step. We were just trying to figure out if that was the right step or just trying to get her to sign it over would be the best step.
Well, I mean, best step would be that she doesn't need to sign it because of the terms of the trust. And if you've actually reviewed them, I would get in touch with the trust company and go, the terms of the trust are that it's 21, it's turned over to me. There's no signature required on her part. If you don't turn it over to me, I'm contacting legal counsel, so you need to do this right now.
Yeah.
Just threaten them and just have them send you the money, and that solves the whole thing. You call your mom up and tell her what you did.
Yeah.
She's trying to exercise control over something she no longer has control over, is what I'm saying.
Yep, especially since I moved out, she does not.
It has nothing to do with moving out.
Over me.
Has nothing to do with moving out. The terms of trust don't state you have to live with her. They don't state you whether you live. They don't state where you live. They state where that you're 21. Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
now, if you go do something stupid with this money, you ought to have your butt kicked.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. If you go screw this up, you ought to have your butt kicked. But that doesn't change the fact that legally you have right to this money.
Yeah.
Based on what you are telling me, if you have correct information.
Yeah, I should probably just go over the trust and specifically what it says. And if it just says 21, then they should either write me a check or legal counsel.
We're going to have an attorney contact them and tell them to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can call Mom and say, Mom, I've retained legal counsel because you're illegally holding this. And you need to sign the paper and turn it over to me now.
Well, there you go. That's an easier answer said than done.
Yeah. Well, it is. And thus is the problem. But, yeah, that's the deal. Hey, thanks for the call. I hope that's all that information's right because I don't know your situation. But it does sound like you need legal advice once you've gone through the details of the trust, if you can't get Mom to release it to you and you think the trust says it's to be released to you. And based on what you're telling me, that's my advice to you. So, good question. Thanks for the call. Okay, so here's the rule, Ken. Nothing wrong with doing a trust. Mm-hmm. And it's not unusual to do a trust for a minor until they turn 21. And at 21, it's turned over to them, and sometimes it's later. It's turned over to them. The mistake that was made in this situation was they appointed someone to be the trustee who did not have the intellectual power to do it, because mom is trying to function like mother and not trustee, and it's going to get mom sued.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't. You can be a mother, and you can have motherly opinions. And I might even agree with her mother. Maybe Victoria doesn't need this money. Maybe she's acting out. Maybe she's immature. Maybe she's going to blow it. I already told her not to blow it, right? Just like her mom would have told her, right?
Yep.
But those instincts are different than the actual legality of a trust. A trustee is only allowed to do what the trust states.
Correct.
They're not allowed to insert their own opinion or advice into the situation unless the trust states that.
Yeah.
In which case you have really opened up a Pandora's box of a mess.
I was curious what you thought about what we heard here. Now, I think it's fair that Victoria, I don't know that she's read the fine print, and I don't think she's going to, which is great. But does it strike you as odd that the trust would say to her, well, we need a signature from mom? You would think, or is this a bad assumption on my part, that they know what it actually says and they were in fact telling her what is in fact true?
I truthfully have no idea why a trust company would be, unless they're just out of an abundance of caution trying to keep mama happy.
Right.
They don't want mama coming back after them too.
Right.
She's going to be pissed when this goes down.
Yeah.
So that's my guess, is they're just trying to play politics here rather than legalities, which they're going to get their tail in a crack too.
Right. Yeah.
That's going to be a problem. So the problem is when you assign a trustee, then the trustee, you know what? There is no trust company. She's the trustee.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
She must have gone to a bank account, and the banker told her this.
That's what I'm wondering, because that struck me as odd.
Yeah. So what you have to do then, Victoria, is take a copy of the trust into the bank.
Right.
And show the branch manager, look, this is what it says, and every minute that you hold this, past this, you're going to be liable.
Yeah.
And just take.
That's what I was wondering, because the trust is just the document that says, here's the deal that manages the money.
There sometimes is a trust company, but the trust company, a trust department in a bank can act as a trustee.
Exactly.
But mama's the trustee on this.
No question. And she's mad that Victoria left the house.
Yeah.
According to Victoria. So.
Yeah. Didn't like the boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and all of that may be accurate. Doesn't matter, though, in this case. Well, all that matters is, so point being, the takeaway for all of you in America is, if you're going to form a trust, be careful who you appoint as the trustee. It is a tremendous responsibility, and they can get themselves into a problem if they start inserting their own opinions into the application of the legality of the trust.